Hi, I want to show you guys how to create an auto-graded assignment in Edgenuity using Google Forms and response validation. So I have a sample one that I set up here for you guys. I will create this by making sections. That's not necessary. I just like to do sections. The first section I have here is just a description of the assignment. It tells them how it's gonna work, that it's auto-graded, that they have to get the right answers to move on, and that at the end they have a certain sentence they have to copy and paste into Edgenuity. And then I, of course, have them put their name in the things or in the Google Forms so that I know who did it. So then I create sections. So if you don't know how to create a section, when you're in Google Forms, you just click this little, this little two rectangle box thing, and that will add another section to the Google form. There we go. So that'll add another section to the Google form. I'm going to probably delete that section, but that's okay. Anyway, and then within the section, you can add questions. So section 2 is questions about the website. And so I would just click the plus sign. That will give me a question. And I usually just type in a question, and then I do short answer. And then I do the 3 dots and I do response validation. Okay, 3 dots, it's called, I don't know how to move myself here. Why is it not moving? There we go. 3 dots and it's called response validation. So there are options here. You can use numbers. So like I've done questions where I have them look at a graph and I say what year did the carbon dioxide production increase? And so then as long as they put anything greater than, I do kind of the lowest number on the graph that would be there. As long as they do greater than that number, that will give them the correct answer. You could do text, but they have to have it exactly. I like to do regular expressions. So that means they have to have the word in there, but they can have other words too. So some students like to put complete sentences. Some students like, whatever. You can have them do a full sentence as long as they have this one word in it. Then it's going to work. So, for instance, if the answer is just my last name, when I do the regular expression, I do parentheses, and I'm going to type my last name several different ways. I'm going to capitalize it. Then you do the little line in between. I do not know what that is called, folks. Then you do it like maybe lowercase. Then I'm going to do the line. Then I'm going to do it all caps. I'm going to give them options. If it's a commonly misspelled word, I might, but you know what? Like, I need to learn how to spell. And then you tell them, sorry, try again. Okay. Sometimes I will give more directions in here. I'll say like, go to, this part of the graph and look at what happens after 1970 or something, like give them a little bit more directions in that, sorry, you got it wrong kind of thing. So here's a question that I already had. I wanted you guys as my students to use the UOS website. And so I just kind of picked some information on the front page that I wanted to ask questions about. So the first question is Utah Online's transforming education, blah, 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 blah. And then I put our mission statement is champion blank growth. Okay. So the way that looks is you'll see the regular expression contains, and then I've got individual spelled out several different ways. And then when they didn't get it right, I have, sorry, the mission statement is under such and such section. You're looking for the answers in red. And so I give them a little bit more explanation. And then I ask them what the mascot is. And if they didn't get this one right, it tells them, oh, try again, scroll down to this part of the website and look for the clip art, So I give them a little bit more of hint in that. And notice I have it spelled lowercase, capital, and then all caps again, okay? And then I did another section because now I have questions on a YouTube video. So I have the title of the section. I didn't put a title of the video. You can, but I have the section title here, the video that they're going to watch, and then they're going to answer questions. What's the name of the mom in the video? What's the acronym? So you'll see here her name spelled all caps in different ways. And then I give them a hint, like her name was right at the beginning of the video. Did you miss that? Go back and watch it again. And then the acronym or abbreviation or whatever students want to call it for Utah Online, I have that spelled out several different ways too. This appears in the end of the video or something. I give them a little hint. And then I just did a little section at the end that says you're going to submit this assignment and a message is going to pop up. Just as a reminder, these are the directions. Because a lot of times students will submit and they won't wait around to see that last sentence. And I've noticed that they'll do the assignment twice. which, sometimes if you don't read directions, you have to do the assignment twice. So let me show you what this looks like to make it so it's auto-graded, okay? So when you are in your settings, I don't make it a quiz. I don't change any of this stuff. You're welcome to collect email addresses and all those things. And let them response edit and all those things. But what matters the most is right here where they have the presentation, this confirmation message. That has to be the keywords. That gives them the keywords. So they did all the work. They got the right answers as they went. And then at the very end, this pops up and tells them, okay, great, you did it. So here's the answer, okay, to paste into Edgenuity. So then in Edgenuity, and let me actually show you in Edgenuity with one of my actual assignments. No, I won't. Never mind. Let's just go to courses, manage courses. I will show you with one of my actual assignments, but I don't have the Google form pulled up right now. So I have one in here that I can show you guys. And it basically, so you'll have your title of your assignment, your description, and then I create all my writing prompts in Google Docs, and then I copy and paste them into here. So I like to have a header for things. I like to, I've got the description of the assignment. This is the website you're going to use. Has to be correct, and then here's the link to the Google form that they're going to click on. And then to make it auto-graded, you have to put in keywords. So the sentence at the end that pops up says, the twilight zone stretches around the world's ocean just beyond the reach of sunlight. So they have to copy that. It has to be 10 words. If your keywords are not 10 words, it won't be auto-graded. So they can copy and paste the whole sentence. I also just put some of the keywords in here separately to see if that helps. And then I just did this as an assignment category. Okay. So that's kind of how that's going to look. I'm just going to cancel out of this real quick because I didn't make any changes. So let me show you what one of these will look like from the student's perspective. So if we copy the responder link, so this is the one that we just went through. You'll see the directions. You'll see that they have to type in their name. And then they're going to go to this website. I kind of messed up my Google form. Anyway, that should have all been one section. I messed it up showing you guys some stuff. But so this answer was skulls, right? This answer is individual. So what if I spell it wrong? It comes up and says, try again. The mission statement is in red letters under the statement that says transform education. So I spelled it wrong. So I need to make sure, did I spell it right this time? I need to make sure I spelled it right. If I do, then it doesn't bring me an error message and it lets me go to the next question. And I don't know how to spell this. B-Y-T-E-S, I think. Terabytes. And then it takes me to the next section. I watch the video of Heidi, and then I answer the question. The name of the mom in the video is Heidi, and the acronym is UOS. Then at the end, you have to spell it right. You have to spell it right, guys. And then at the end, it has the statement. Now, okay, when you hit submit, it's going to give you this sentence, right? So I hit submit. Thank you for, and then this would say, thank you for answering this or learning about the Twilight Zone or learning about whatever. Copy and paste this sentence into Edgenuity. Okay, so that's how that one's going to look. So here's a couple of other ones that I've made. This one is on the carbon cycle. So they have to click on carbon reservoirs. There's 5 different tabs they click on, and then they're going to just answer questions about the different tabs. Some of them, they have to actually look at a graph. Like on this one, they have to actually look at, temperature, and they have to compare. They look at the temperature, and they have to answer questions based on this graph. So I do that a lot. You can see also, when you look at the form, you can see the responses. So I can see which students have answered the questions, and then you can see how I've got my conditional formatting here, or my little response validation. Some of them, the keyword that I put is biomass, but some of them put the land biomass, which is great, right? They've got both answers in there. But this will show me 3 students did it this way, 2, so you can kind of see that. The answer here was fossil fuels, but some people put a little bit of extra information, or they spelled it wrong, but at least they got the fossil part right, so still give them the answer. So you can kind of see what students are putting. This one is one where they had to tell me the difference between present day. And I think I put the keywords in here as just, oh, it's very short. Let's see if we can find this question right here. They can put human, they can put fossil, they can put ecosystem, they can put change, they can put fuel. So I gave them some options. And you can see that some students are writing like, a full paragraph. Some are just writing one sentence. Some are just writing 2 words. But as long as they got one of those words, and I tried to pick ones that I thought would work from the picture, which I can find that for you guys if you want me to. But anyway, so this is just kind of like showing you guys how that would work for students. And then, of course, the settings, they get this answer right here that they need to put carbon dioxide in the atmosphere traps heat and leads to global warming. They put that in the Edgenuity text box, and then because of the keywords, it's auto-graded. So anyway, that's what I'm using these for. I have a couple of other examples really quickly. I have my scavenger hunt for my class. So they have to look at my disclosure document, they have to look at my website, and they have to answer questions based on those things. And it's the same formatting where they can't move on to the next question until they get it right. And I have it set up in sections and things like that. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoy these. I do think they're fun for me, for the students. It's a little bit of work to set up, but it's a lot less work with grading in the long run. I typically tend to put these in my e-dynamics class, just because what I had noticed was the e-dynamics assignments were just, students were just copying the question, pasting it into Google, and putting the AI overview answer on all the assignments. And so I'm like, I need something where they have to actually like use what I'm giving them. So I give you a picture of the solar system, and I'm going to ask you questions about that, or I'm going to give you a video to watch, and I'm going to give you a graph to look at. And so some of them are different types of assignments. I like to use a lot of websites, which I have approved on the Learn platform, and just different things like that. So I feel like this is a way to add more authentic learning into our classes without adding a ton of grading for us. It is work to set it up, but once you have it set up, it's really pretty slick. And I haven't had too many issues. Students have reached out only if like I accidentally did 9 words instead of 10 words in the keyword sentence and things like that. But for the most part, it's worked out really well. So anyway, reach out to me if you have any questions or want help setting one of these up.